Oilers, you got a great offense with Connor McDavid. So I have them sweeping them.
Yeah, well, I don't think you heard my point. The San Francisco Giants have 3 more in the 2010s than the Rangers have in their entire history. So, yeah.
It's hard to get back and to get back-to-back wins, and I don't see the Lightning doing it here. So I have them losing to the Hurricanes in 6.
We don't talk about the 2010s because the 2010s had the Astros, and if the Astros didn't happen, the Yankees would have won in 2017 with the Dodgers.
He was close to Frank Reich, and they want Frank Reich back, so that's what they got. It's their discount Frank Reich.
Kaprizov and the rest of this crew, Jordan Greenway, who doesn't get enough props. He definitely is somebody who needs to be mentioned more.
Hi, this is Julie Dobbs. You're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. We're just going to talk about the Lamar Jackson situation, and that's it. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the man wearing "Self-Belief is the Best Option" t-shirt, Austin.
I haven't got one of those yet, but hopefully they'll come in the mail soon. It's worked out for a lot of people, and hopefully it'll work out for Lamar. I mean, that's what this conversation is going to be about, and there's a lot of teams that will be interested, but how many will want to pay him what he thinks he's worth? That's really the question.
Yeah, and to me it's weird where I know you talked about this when we did the predictions. This guy is relatively young. This is the first time he's out of his first contract, and he won an MVP. And I get the Ravens and him are not seeing eye to eye on the contract discussions, but to me, other teams like Atlanta's like, we're out. Why wouldn't there are 31 other teams? One other team, not two other teams, aren't really going to have a discussion about their quarterback. But to me, the tender that he's on, 2 first-round picks, to me, that's the standard for trading for a quarterback.
Of this caliber.
Yeah, caliber. Even like of a greater caliber than the other guys that have been traded because they weren't MVPs.
How much do you think it matters that he's struggled very noticeably in the playoffs? In 4 playoff games, he's thrown 3 touchdowns and 5 picks, and is honestly been outplayed in every single one of those games. And even the only game he's won in the playoffs, which happened in 2020, he did not even throw a touchdown pass in. So, while I don't think this matters that much, his only win is against Tennessee, where he had 179 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. He did have a rushing touchdown, but how much do you think that inconsistency in the playoffs matters?
I think that may be playing a part in why other teams, but to me with Lamar, I mentioned, like you mentioned, he had 1 rushing touchdown. The only impact we've seen with him on the Ravens, even during the MVP years when he was running, and he's so electric in the running game. Another thing is his injury history, which is connected, in my opinion, to his running game. I think there's a lot that hasn't been tapped into in his throwing ability because there's never really been the type of weapons we've seen with other quarterbacks. Like outside of Mark Andrews, there was Hollywood Brown, but he was traded. So it's really just been Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson, and then the run game, because he is their offense. We've seen how well they didn't play, even though Tyler Huntley did a good job. But
they still made the playoffs.
Yeah, they still made the playoffs. But just the level of that offense, you can tell when Lamar Jackson is not in it.
I do think that's partially because it's built for Lamar. Like, we would never see Tom Brady in a system like that, or even Mahomes for that matter. But I do agree that they definitely did not tap in enough with his ability to pass, because I think that is extremely underrated with him. And it opens up the run more. When you pass, it opens up play action and then it opens up the run, and so much more diversity can be achieved on offense. But I think part of the problem with Lamar is his injury history, but I don't know necessarily if that should be stopping teams from at least taking a look. The problem is that he wants a Dak Prescott deal, 45 million. Well, when he's not getting paid that with this franchise tag that he was just offered by the Ravens.
Yeah, and I would gladly give him the Dak deal, but the Cowboys aren't going to do that.
Oh no. That's the Cowboys should never make that deal.
Why
Not
not?
not no 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 no.
Okay, this is
The
setting up.
Cowboys no because they would have to
Right.
change up their offense completely. They do not have the facilities to adjust, and learning a whole new QB system for Lamar, I don't think it would be worth it in the time frame of success, because I think Dan Quinn, this is probably his last season, and
As defensive coordinator.
he will not be back with the Cowboys.
Yeah, we'll have that. I have a theory about that, but yeah, we'll stick to Lamar.
It's better to, I feel like, stay with what you know than pay 45 million, because you'd have to trade Dak at that point. And I do think Dak has more value than Lamar in this market because of the pocket presence Dak has, and the fact that teams are worried about Lamar's injuries more than Dak's, because Dak can rely on his passing ability, which we saw during this past season. But it's weird how they're treating Lamar, and it's kind of, I think, indicative of how the league is going, because they see guys like Mahomes not have to rely on the run, and they are wanting more of those scramblers, but not runners, not guys that can, like, Josh Allen runs the ball a good bit, but he can rely on his passing. And I do think that's part of the Ravens' fault for not allowing Lamar to showcase his passing ability. And no matter where Lamar plays, because I honestly believe that wherever he goes, he's going to have to play on this 1 year deal. He's not going to sign an extension before playing. And I think that's okay, because he can prove himself. Hey, I'm going to go to the Titans, or they have Derrick Henry. I understand that they don't have the best weapons, but I like Treylon Burks. I like some of the guys they're going to bring in possibly in the draft. And we could be really good. Or another team like Washington that has Terry McLaurin, and getting him an actual QB to pass in the ball. They have a fine offensive line. They have okay runners. It's really just asking the question, what sacrifices does Lamar have to make? But because he's going to have to make some.
Yeah, I do agree. He could take like a shorter term deal, but if I'm Lamar, and I'll switch, I understand what Lamar's doing. He's trying to get the best deal. If I'm the Ravens, I know you want to keep Lamar, but it seems like the bridge is very on teetering on the edge of burnt, and there's no going back. Why why don't you trade Lamar if you're not willing to give him the contract he wants? I know you have the 2 first round picks, but I believe they can work out a trade from there. Why not trade with a team? Let's say the Colts want him, or other teams. Why not consider a trade, or make it seem like you're more open to a trade than what it seems right now? Because it seems like, hey, you can sign him, but we can match it. So I think that's deterring a lot of teams. But I'm really confused on the Ravens' perspective, because why not trade Lamar and see what you get back?
Now, I understand the Pro Bowl means nothing, and it's honestly a total joke that Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl last year, throwing for 2 touchdowns and 3 picks the entire season. And him, it's a joke.
I did
It's a
not know those
sick.
stats.
Oh, no. He made the Pro Bowl. 2 touchdown throws, 3 interceptions, 658 yards.
Wow.
I'm not lying. Colt McCoy, I think, had better stats, and that's not a joke.
I
But
you are probably correct.
yeah, Colt McCoy had more yards, same amount of picks, 1 less touchdown,
In the same amount of games, probably.
1 less game actually. So
Ooh.
more yards, one less game. The rating, so Tyler Huntley had 77.2. Oh, Colt McCoy had 76.6. So the difference was point 0.6 in Tyler Huntley's favor. But
Oh, wow.
I think this team is built for someone like Tyler Huntley. And if you do make that trade and get 2 first-rounders, I agree with you. I don't know why you don't trade Lamar. The whole reason I think for having Tyler Huntley as your backup is he's a mini Lamar, right? He's supposed to
Yeah.
be, hey, Lamar gets hurt. Let's not have to change the system. And they won't have to if they just trade Lamar and have Tyler Huntley be the starter next year and give him a full, true number one QB1 opportunity next season. I think it's the best for both worlds. A trade happens. I don't think Lamar's going to be happy. He's not going to get paid the $40 million this year that already is by the market being shown right now. He needs to go wherever will give him the best opportunity to win now, and he needs to perform and show that he can pass the ball much better than he has shown. I've seen some teams though. Some teams should be interested, like for example the Jets. No, the Jets shouldn't be interested. The Jets should be all in on Rodgers right now. There's no need to confuse yourself. Because if you're trying to make an offer for Aaron Rodgers and Lamar at the same time, it's going to be confusing. You don't want Aaron Rodgers to get mad. This is worst case scenario for the Jets. The Jets reach out to Lamar. Aaron Rodgers hears, he's like, I'm not going there anymore. And then Lamar stays with the Ravens or gets traded somewhere else. Now the Jets are screwed. And so I feel like the Jets should not be in the Lamar Jackson conversation. Thoughts on that?
Yes. If what would so wouldn't it cost the Jets more to get Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
So why not? Because to me, the
No,
price tag of
because
Lamar.
here's why.
Okay.
I I feel like one, I don't necessarily know how the system's built for Lamar. We'll see. I don't feel like the offensive coordinator because remember didn't the Jets just sign Nathaniel Hackett to be their Jets
Yeah, they've
OC?
also signed Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb.
I this
They're
is
they're
not a
doing the
this
list.
is not a team built for Lamar. They didn't sign Randall Cobb. Randall
Did they?
Cobb's
Or maybe
on
they
the
were rumored. Was
no
he
no
on
no.
the
Randall
list?
Cobb's still on the Packers. They would have to
Okay.
trade for him. Randall if Aaron Rodgers gets traded, which he probably will, if he gets
Yeah.
traded to the Jets, Randall Cobb is in the trade.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
it's a good to assume that. But right now, no. This team
Okay.
is not really built for Lamar. And while I think it'll cost a little bit more for Rodgers on his last 2 years of his deal, because I think he signed an extension. I think he has 2 years left. Um, Lamar's injury history, Rodgers doesn't really get hurt. I know he broke his collarbone and one other year he was out, but both of those years were pretty bad just in general. So I don't think Rodgers will have that much injury concern. And also the team is built for Rodgers. You don't sign Hackett to not get Rodgers. Like they're already pretty committed. You can't back away from that. And like I said, the worst case scenario, you reach out to Lamar, Rodgers hears it. I'm not going there. I'm staying with the Packers, or I'm going somewhere else, something like that. And then Lamar's like, or Lamar doesn't get traded. The Ravens are like, nah, we're good. We're going to keep him no matter what. And then the Jets have to start someone else because Mike White already left. They had to start Zach Wilson again, or Joe Flacco, or some draft a QB.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in that situation. There's probably 5 teams right now that I think should be seriously interested in Lamar. How many teams do you have in that should be seriously interested?
I
Not
would
somewhat.
say even like more, even more of those teams should. But I get where you're saying five because to me, this I think Lamar Jackson right now is a discount than what the precedent has been for trading for quarterbacks.
Well, name some of the. Okay, do you want me to name 5 and then you name the others that should be interested?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so I'll go one by one. You can say if you agree with them first. I bet you're going to agree with all of them because you
I
have
probably
more
will.
than me.
Yeah.
So my first team that I think should be interested, and this is one not many people are talking about, the Patriots. Think about what the Patriots did with Cam Newton. They brought in Cam Newton to kind of be like a Lamar. Cam threw for like what 7, 8 touchdowns that year. He wanted to be a runner, and I feel like Lamar in a Patriots Bill Belichick system, Bill Belichick will get the right players for Lamar. I'm not worried. So the Patriots is the first team. Do you agree, Kevin?
Yeah, I think that's a good pick because I think the other team that gets Lamar will expand on what he can do in the passing game that the Ravens just have not focused on.
And that's a good system to start out with. The Patriots, obviously, I don't really know how Mac Jones fits in right now. And I feel like if you can get Lamar and maybe include Mac Jones in the trade so that the Ravens are inclined to do it, so they have someone to go off of. But my first team, Patriots. And these are not in order. There is no
Yeah,
order
no,
to this.
you're good.
My second team, Titans, we're going to agree on that easy, right?
Yeah,
Titans easy.
they
My
need a
next,
quarterback.
say again.
They need an upgrade at quarterback.
Yeah,
Or they don't need, but an upgrade would be nice.
it definitely would be. My next team is the Colts. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that makes sense.
That was on my list as well if you weren't going to name them. So,
Okay.
yes.
My next team, this one's a little bit. This one may not make as much sense as some of the others because they've signed some guys, but I feel like maybe it's not that they should, but it's that I think they really could based on the fact that they are refusing to tank, refusing, and that's the Saints. Now, I don't know what the Saints do money wise with that, but I don't think franchise tags hurt your salary cap this season. And I know the Saints have made some weird moves. I know they're bringing back Jameis Winston, and I know
And
they
they got,
signed Derek Carr.
yeah.
But I feel like if you could get Lamar we're talking about tiers of QBs. Derek Carr is not even remotely close to the QB that Lamar is. And I feel like in a trade, they could trade Derek Carr to the Ravens. So I'm trying to thinking how would a trade work? And the Ravens don't want to trade him for 2 first-round picks anyway, in my opinion. That's not going to get him through. 2 first-round picks is not going to get Lamar for anyone, in my opinion. It's going to have to be a little bit more than that. And I think trading a starting QB may be the start to that.
Yeah, that could work. My view would also be I take the risk because it seems free agency has calmed down. I give Lamar Jackson what he wants. Like I give him the fully guaranteed contract. And I'll trade my 2 picks. I would like tell the Ravens that, and I'll say if you want to work on something else, let's do it. So then, or I'm going to pay him this contract, and if you match me, you're going to be stuck with this contract.
Yeah.
But yeah,
My next
the
team.
Saints
So what was it?
would be a team if a team was going to change the financial capital and just do some cap magic, it would be the Saints.
So how many teams have I mentioned? I mentioned the Patriots, the Colts,
You're a 3.
3. So I have 2 more. My next team's the Falcons. The Falcons have the monetary ability to make this move. I don't trust Desmond Ritter right now. And even if you do, I feel like Lamar is someone that you can take that risk for, like you mentioned. And I feel like they're a team right now. I mean, Marcus Mariota really just was a kind of smaller version of Lamar, a less impactful version. So that's my fourth team.
Yeah, and or my
You
bad.
go, you go.
More on the Falcons. I believe in the potential of Desmond Ritter. I really like him, but Lamar Jackson's a proven quantity. He won an MVP in the NFL, so I totally get if I'm not sure about my quarterback, I would totally be like, I would totally go after Lamar Jackson. But yeah, what's your 15?
So my fifth team's one that I also think is relatively easy to understand, easy to know, and definitely is going to be on your list. It's Washington. Washington's a team that needs to commit to a QB, and I understand they're like, oh, we're committing to Sam Howell. Well, I don't know how happy Terry McLaurin's going to be with that endeavor
Yeah.
next year, and I feel like the teams on defense will be good enough. They have enough playmakers on offense if you give them the right QB. They almost made the playoffs last year with Taylor Heineke, and I think they almost would have if they actually kept starting Taylor Heineke instead of playing Wentz, being confusing with that and all that. But um, that's my last team. Let me name a couple of teams real quick that I don't think should be on your list. One, Carolina. You do not trade for the first pick to get Lamar. I've seen him on lists. Oh, Carolina, they have an QB opening. They have the first pick. They are committed to drafting one, and Lamar is not worth the first pick. The first pick is extremely valuable in the NFL, and you can change your team dynamic with a first overall pick. And you do not. I would not trade Lamar for the first pick because you're not going to just. They're asking for two, so it would include the first pick and next year's first rounder. Nope, not worth it. It's not worth it. Would you agree with me with that?
Yeah, I get it. And the Carolinas already played their hand, so I get what you're saying. And similar to a team that I'm curious if you're going to say Houston,
Mm-hmm.
they've played their hand,
They
but
also don't have the talent around. There's no reason.
yeah,
They don't. They need to build it with whoever they're going to go with, and it's just not the time to decide to go after Lamar. Another team that should not be on your list, in my opinion, is the Seahawks. I've seen some people want to go with the Seahawks. They did not. Gino did everything he possibly could to lead a team that was supposed to go 4-13 to a playoff spot. Why not stick with Gino? I don't understand. What is the point? Lamar has been injury prone, and while Lamar is definitely better than Gino at 100%, Gino's been with the team for longer. He's built a culture there. There's no reason.
yeah, I get it. To me, it would be iffy, but you make a lot of good points. I don't know if I can get to 10, but here are some other teams that I would think. I would put Seahawks. So the two teams where I would
Why
say
would you put Seahawks?
no, I'm gonna do tiers.
Okay, okay.
So the tier where it's like absolutely not, two teams: Bengals, Mahomes, and Chiefs.
You tell me the Chargers are not and absolutely do not, or a team like the Broncos are not and absolutely do not, like they're not committed to Russ right now, like 100% have to trade
That's a
everything
good
away.
point. They've thrown their hand. So yeah, we'll add those
Well,
two
what
teams.
about Bills? There's no way the Bills.
Yeah, that's five. There are teams where yeah, we're kind of stuck with this quarterback.
I would say the Browns. The Browns just paid
Yeah, oh yeah,
Deshaun.
Browns are also in that list. They are
They
stuck.
cannot. They just
Yeah.
can't. Same thing with the Cowboys. You don't pay Dak $45 million a
But I would have a
year.
discussion.
No. You want the Cowboys to have a discussion. It's not. If you're the Cowboys, you can't though. You just want them to have a discussion.
I would love it if they had discussion because Lamar's just great. Like he's good. But okay. So yeah, we have those teams. Then Seahawks are in there. Like, let's have a discussion. No, or we'll think about it. But we're pretty good set with Gino. Here are some other teams. I'm probably not gonna get to. I probably have three teams.
Like
One is
more.
Lions.
Do you change your culture for Lamar? Do you
Do you think?
change what you've been building the past 2 years, continuously getting better, almost making the playoffs to get Lamar? Do you trade future draft capital from a young team to get Lamar? Look, I wouldn't be extremely mad. I would understand it, but I wouldn't do it.
So you think what happens to the culture to wherever
Here's
Lamar?
the pro. I'll tell
Okay.
you, Lamar's begging for $45+ million, $50 million, a lot. He wants to be the highest paid QB in the league, basically, or close to. The Lions are on a culture right now of grinding and being a team player. And I'm telling you right now, paying a QB $50 million is not a team friendly move. And the Lions are a team that has not had much success. I don't think it's worth the gamble that is paying a QB because if that goes wrong, the Lions aren't making the playoffs for the next 20 years again. If Lamar has a career-ending injury, but you still have to pay him because it's fully guaranteed like he wants.
I we have different views on the pay scale of quarterbacks. To me, it is what it is, and I think he's going to earn close to it. He's going to be one of the top QBs, and I believe he's going to be healthy because I'm not going to
But
go.
you
"Hey,
can't.
you have to run.
You have to give up stuff and then pay him 50 is the
But I
problem
have
I have.
multiple picks. What happens if I trade? But to me, that's if you're going to trade for any quarterback that we've seen, in the past, you're gonna have to pay him anyway. The Rams traded for Stafford, then they paid him. That's not working out well. Broncos did it too.
It worked out fine with the LA Rams because they won a
Well,
championship.
now though, but they paid him.
No,
after
it's still fine.
Okay.
The easiest thing you can do is say we won a championship. Like, for example, the Bucks, who are in cap hell and cannot afford Lamar because they're going to pay $74 million in dead cap that they're paying to no one next year, or they're really paying it to Brady, but and some other players. But they've restructured. They can't afford it. They just can't. But you know what they can say? We're paying $74 million in dead cap. We won a championship. We won a championship. Who cares? We won a championship. It's fine. It's all good. It's fine. We signed Baker Mayfield as a QB. It doesn't matter. We're fine.
Okay. All right. So the Bucks were on my list, but I see that
they can't afford it. I don't know how you
could
pay
make it
him.
work.
There's no money to pay him with. There's no money. Where'd money go? They just re-signed Levante David. That was their money for them. They don't. They have no
Saints.
money. They have no money.
No, there's something they just. If
$74 million in dead cap. So
Can't they
that's
just
not
kick that
even
down the road?
attributed to players on the team, Kevin. That is not
Can't you
attributed
kick
to
that down the road.
You
They could
can't.
work some cap
I don't think
back.
you don't understand how dead cap. You can't restructure dead cap. You can restructure contracts that are currently going on, but dead cap is, as it sounds, dead. It's not a live cap. A live cap are current players. Dead cap is you cannot.
But the money
move
I
it.
give Lamar would be a live cap, and I would just tell Lamar, dude, we're paying $70 million to Tom Brady. We are happy paying that because we got a championship. So
It's not just a Brady. You can't restructure and then restructure because eventually you're going to be paying $1 billion in 1 year, and you can't even afford to put a team on the field.
I would just tell Lamar, just give me a couple years, man. You'll get the money.
No, you can't be greedy.
Okay.
You can't be greedy. I don't think the Bucks should be on the
list. 2 more
list.
teams, and I'm going to end on one team.
I know one team you have on it. I know for a fact one team you have on it. Do you want me to say the team before you say the team?
I want to save it for the end. Okay, I'm going to put these 2 teams in one bracket. Then I'm going to get to the team. Miami Dolphins and Niners.
No and no.
What?
Dolphins, you have to still commit to Tua because I feel like you've already committed a lot. You didn't get Brady, who wanted to come there in the trade. You didn't get a lot of other moves that they could have been making. You're pretty committed to Tua, in my opinion.
Okay. Then Niners.
Okay, let me put it like this. PTSD is what I'm going to say. So what happened last year? Their first string QB gets hurt, then their second string QB gets hurt, then their third string QB gets hurt, and their fourth string QB comes hurt, and then their hurt third string QB comes in and plays with a torn UCL, and they get blown out. So let's go get a player that's been consistently hurt over the past 2 seasons to be our starting QB. That's what I'm going to say no, because of PTSD.
But okay, when their number 1 QB was healthy, what was their ceiling? What was that quarterback ceiling for that season?
What do you mean?
So, who do you consider is Trey Lance?
Yeah, he had to have been because he started the year.
Gotcha. So, what in that season, when Niners have Trey Lance as their quarterback, what is the best case scenario for Trey Lance and the Niners?
It's hard to say because he only played 2 games, but considering on how the trajectory went, I mean, our starting QB is better than every other QB being hurt. So I'd say Super Bowl.
So you say Super Bowl, okay?
Because they're the best defense in the league,
okay,
or second best defense in the league. Super Bowl.
Okay. So if you could plug Lamar Jackson and his level of play, wouldn't you think it's worth the risk?
Kevin, I don't understand you. Here's what I don't understand about some of your takes that are regarding to trading for players. Is that you won't go for it on a 4th and 2?
Well, no.
Listen to me.
We talked about this. You wouldn't go for it on the
Listen to
Super Bowl, and I would. I've changed.
Listen, no, that's just stupid. But that one's not the same. But
some people call it stupid. Some people call it smart, and I'm in one of those areas sometimes. I'm in both of those areas sometimes.
Let
but
me give you a
alternate.
situation. Let me give you a situation. You're up 4.
Okay.
Minute left on the clock. You can't knee it. It's 4th and 2 at their 4-yard line. Okay.
4-yard line.
So it's 4th and 2 at their 4-yard line. First down ends the game. They have no more timeouts. Now, you can't punt it because you're at their 4-yard line. So you're not going to waste time. There's no way to really waste time. So do you just kick the field goal and go up by 6? Because you're up 3. Do you just kick the field goal for them to go up 6? Or do you go for it and in the game?
Can I ask a follow-up? Is Lamar Jackson my quarterback in this scenario?
That you're going against or you have on your team?
No, that he's my quarterback of the team.
Sure, you can have whatever quarterback you want, Kevin.
Thank you. I'm going to go for it. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to punt it.
You can't punt it. You're on their 4-yard line.
Oh,
You
wait, I'm
literally
on their 4-yard line?
Their
I thought I was on my
4-yard
own
line.
for it. Oh, I'm totally going for it. I thought I was on my own 4-yard line.
No, you're on their 4-yard line. 4th and 2.
Oh, heck yeah. Lamar Jackson.
I'm
going for it.
It's still 2 yards. Why would I don't understand the difference? Well, I guess I
I'm gonna
understand the
run
difference
with
because you're
Lamar
on there.
Jackson.
You're on 2, but
No, if I'm on my own 4, I'm still the risk. If I'm on their 4-yard line, so like I could score a touchdown,
Mhm.
and then end the game. But if I'm on my 4, to me they have to go 2 yards or 4 yards.
yeah,
So
I understand that one, but
Okay.
You have to go for it in that situation.
Yeah,
but the thing
I
is that
thought,
the risk reward ratio of getting Lamar for a team that's already experienced so many QB injuries, from Jimmy tearing his ACL in 2019 to the injuries that happened the year after to cause their 2020 season to be completely derailed after injuries to Nick Bosa and everyone else. And in 2021, they almost make it to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo as their QB. And then this year, everything that happened with injuries. I don't think you can commit to a guy that's not proven to be healthy. Now, I guess you could, but
past is the past. Just forget about the past.
that's
That'd be
not how that's not how life works. If you forget about the past, it becomes your future. If you forget about the past, it becomes your future. If you forget about the past,
worked out well.
if you forget about the past,
give it a
becomes
shot.
your future.
Okay, so best case scenario for Trey Lance. I'll say this, and then we'll move on to the final team because we're going a little bit over. What is the best scenario for Trey Lance as a quarterback?
Are we asking career or next season?
Let's say career.
Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Best case scenario.
What about? Yeah, that's true. Would in that Hall of Fame career, would he have won an MVP?
If we're talking about pure potential, sure.
Okay. There's someone on the market that has already won MVP.
And just winning an MVP does not matter to me. Joe Burrow hasn't won an MVP. Does that mean that he's a worse player than Lamar?
There's that potential. There's a lot more belief in the potential of Burrow winning an MVP for me than in the potential I think Trey Lance can win for MVP.
So you think there's a better chance that Lamar wins the MVP in the future than Trey Lance? And I guess that's just because of the fact that Lamar's later in his career. I mean, Lamar wasn't great after his first season.
We've seen him do it before.
I don't think seeing someone do it means that their chances in the future are great.
Okay.
Because, okay, let me give you an example. The Mavs in 2011, when they won a championship, the next year, they blew up the team. They decided, Tyson Chandler, you're gone. We're not going to bring back Jason Kidd. We're probably just
10 years later.
Yeah, we're just kind of blowing up the team. What is his name? What is his name? Deshaun Stevenson, you're gone. Even though you started some games in the finals, doesn't matter. You're gone. You can go to the Hawks or whatever. And then their
JJ
team missed the
Barea.
playoffs. And you're like, oh well, the past success of Dirk and those early 2010 Mavericks means that they're gonna do great. They just won a championship. They did not win a round the rest of Dirk's career
But they
after
broke
winning a
that
championship.
team up.
Yes, and Lamar would be going to a new team, in a new system, in a new environment, with different players. So that's what you're doing right now. You're blowing him off of the team that he won it with. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no
Yeah, but I'm
guarantees.
I'm trusting it with Kyle Shanahan. Okay. Seems like we're pretty on opposite sides. But
Has Lamar? Okay. Has Kyle Shanahan ever had a MVP QB with him as a head coach?
no.
He has had an MVP QB as him as an OC. Do you know who that was?
Yes, Matt Ryan.
Yes. But Matt Ryan is nothing like Lamar Jackson.
Because Lamar Jackson's better.
Then that year, Matt Ryan? No.
What? No, I'm just saying in general. I'd rather have Lamar Jackson.
Oh, man. I don't
Not
know.
than MVP Matt Ryan.
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying.
If we're talking. Matt Ryan never got hurt. He made multiple Pro Bowls. He won an MVP. He made a Super Bowl. Yes, obviously, right now Matt Ryan is
Yeah.
not even remotely
Yeah.
close. But if we're talking prime Matt Ryan, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would have to. It would be tough. Lamar needs to actually have some playoff success for me to think that he's better than a guy that's made the Super Bowl and should have won it, but his head coach was stupid. Like you can't score 28 points and then lose a Super Bowl. You can't lose a 28-3 lead and then blame the QB. Like that's not something that can happen.
Gotcha. That's fair. Yeah, I think I'm buying in the potential of Lamar. But all right, let's go to the last team. If
Vikings.
Rodgers is gone,
Oh wow,
Oh.
it's Packers?
yes, you thought it was Vikings.
I thought it was
Ooh.
Vikings.
Haha.
Because
Okay,
you
if
hate
Rodgers is
Kirk
gone,
Cousins so much.
I would take Lamar Jackson over Kirk Cousins, but the Vikings are in there. Like, let's have a discussion. But let's go Packers.
No, I'm in the Jordan Love train. We did not draft him in the first round with Aaron Rodgers still in his prime, winning MVPs for us not to play him.
But like, you didn't.
Here.
You didn't expect.
Okay. I know you said the past isn't the past, and let's talk about positive PTSD. The last
Are
two
you talking about
QBs we've
there's a
had,
correlation?
no, but
Okay.
there's been a series of success with Packers QBs who come in and take time off and then start. Who come in? Patrick Mahomes took time off before he came and became a starter.
Lamar Jackson took time off and became a starter.
No, Lamar Jackson, the second half of his rookie year started, which is not what I mean.
Okay. Well, Mahomes did start in one game in the second half of his rookie season.
No, the one game he started, Kevin, was in week 17. So it was after they had already clinched a playoff spot, and he started to start. He didn't become the team's starter.
Okay.
That's the distinction I'm making.
All right. So you're gonna buy into the potential of Jordan Love.
Yes.
Okay.
We did not draft in the first round a QB during Aaron Rodgers' prime when he was about to win back-to-back MVPs for us not to play him.
Okay. All right. We'll end it there. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.